I'm alive. Call this meeting to order, determined as a quorum present, Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself, we have a quorum. Commissioner Vasquez, if you lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Folks, if y'all don't mind, we had a family member pass, Commissioner Vasquez's sister passed. If y'all don't mind, a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Sorry. Approving or amending the minutes, item 4. I think we got it. No. There is none. Citizens' comments? There is none. Item number 6, budget workshop. We talked about trying to bring in a juvenile back underneath the court. I couldn't find anything that I could make it difficult. The other deal was that we talked also about the money, and I don't know whether in the year that we're in, the fiscal year that we're in, we do not have their audit yet for the fiscal year that we're in. We had the other one, the older ones, but if y'all wanted to maybe cut some of their funding or hold back on some of their funding till we get that. I do know that I think in adult probation they had like 100,000 their balance, and I think we almost had about the same in juvenile.
It would be lower than that, and the adult is allowed to carry over balance on their grants because they are biennials. They're allowed to keep 6 months of operation expenses. The funding that does go to adults, 45, and of course we receive back about 15 of that in fees in our locals that we charge them. The juveniles, with the exception of the detention center, we see about 30 goes back, and we are reimbursed through a case management system through fees collected through court cases, and that's a lower amount, maybe $6,000 to $7,000. So
what I'm concerned about is the 300,000 for juvenile.
okay,
The detention center, and I would like to see that, kind of like we did with the DA, bring it back into the county as a department under the county and fund it through the county. And the county gets to make decisions on what's going to go on and what money's going to get spent. I'm still going through the audits and stuff, trying to figure it all out. But out of the 300,000, I'm not 100% sure that we spend all 300,000 of it to operate the juvenile detention center.
okay, what are you saying?
What am I saying?
That they have money left
They have money left
Oh,
over,
sure.
and the money should
Right.
come back to the general fund.
Okay.
It came from the general fund, it should come back to the general fund.
Okay.
The same issue we had with the DA.
Right.
If it is a department managed underneath the county, like the district attorney's was, then we would budget whatever money's left over, of course, automatically rolls over.
Okay,
But we need to make sure we can legally do it.
absolutely.
I need some clarification on this. Are we talking about leftover money from the 300,000 or grant money?
You are talking about the 300,000, correct? We're talking about the detention center. Now that fund balance has been there for a long, long
Yeah, and I have
time.
no idea where the.
So as it continues to deteriorate, then they're actually spending more than 300,000. I do know that balance is lower than it's probably been in a while. So that means that they have been using more than 300,000 a year.
Okay. But again, we don't know what that balance is as of right now.
As of right now, I mean, we can get you a really, really good guess, but as far as the audit,
Good guess.
good guess, it would just take me a few minutes, but I can get you a
If
guess on that.
they're spending more than 300,000, then they're funding it from where?
Fund balance, and there is,
So that means at some point when the fund balance runs out, they're gonna need more money.
correct.
And they get
But
paid.
when you look at their budget, the biggest percentage of their budget is salaries.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
I would like to move it underneath the county, but I want to make sure that we can legally do it correctly. So,
Right, in addition to those revenues received from the county, it is receiving revenue from other sources.
yeah.
All right, so it's not
Yeah.
only
When they get
300,000.
paid.
Right, it is a lot bigger.
No, I understand. I mean, I went through their budget, I went through their audit, but, I'm assuming at some point during the year, once we clarify the legality of it, we can make that decision. I guess we need to get, I haven't been able to find anything that says it can't be done, but I know we've had an issue at one point with some litigation and the relationships between the county and juvenile, and so I just want to make sure we clarify it before we go down that road.
Okay.
So can we just address it as we go along throughout the year?
And what we'll do is we'll ask TAC again, and then we'll see what we can do. The other thing, one of the other things, now we're talking about budget, I know that the court, every member of this court, all the commissioners have wanted to do something for the employees. And there was, I don't know whether we could do like a stimulus for our employees.
How about we do a $1,200 per employees who didn't get pay raises and are not elected officials as a COVID stimulus in December, a one-time payment. I think the cost would be
Yeah, between 250 and 3, something like that.
Judge, so we do that, I mean, is that gonna cancel them getting a raise in March or April?
Right now, this would be something that we do now. If the court would want to consider something in March, that can be brought back, but right now, this is what the court would do right now.
Yeah, because we had talked about a raise in March or April.
You know, my thing, if we go to do the raise in March, I think this would help more than the raise, for the simple reason it's a one lump sum and not spread out over 26 pay periods.
Judge, is the money there?
and it won't affect us in next year's budget.
Yeah.
Would a motion be in order?
Well, yeah, the only thing I'm trying to figure out is, if we do this, it pretty much cancels them getting a raise in March or April.
Well, the court could bring it back. The whole thing is though that again, I think if we do this right now, it would help. It would help because it's a one lump sum, not spread out over 26 pay periods. And it would also help the court because it's something that it's not going to be every year. So, when people get asked, why did you do it? And, it's helping them and it's helping us. Or helping the constituents and it's helping our employees. And again, if y'all would want to, if y'all want to do the raise, it's something that y'all can bring back.
You bet.
But like right now, I mean, I think this is important, and all of y'all that said, let's try to help, and this would be a way to help.
Judge, I'll second Commissioner Nettleton's motion.
I'll make a motion that we, do a one-time COVID stimulus for employees of $1,200 to include employees that did not get pay raises and to not include elected officials.
What do you want to do about part-time?
Huh?
What about part-time? What do you want to do there?
No.
No, this is just full-time
Full-time
employees.
employees.
Could we put that money in contingency? Could we set aside more money for in contingency to do